Hi Taurus, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your cards for August. So, my guess is you're starting to really feel that Uranus energy in your sign in August as it made a square to the Aquarius full moon that we just had on the 3rd. So that energy stays for the first 2 weeks. As well, your ruling planet Venus is finally stepping out of Gemini and moving into Cancer, which might feel big for you because it is your ruling planet and because she moves to a much softer place. She's moving from Gemini, where she has been since April, in a state of retrograde, meaning we're going back over values, how we value ourselves, what we value in others. We've been under a review phase, and now she has cleared a new path. She's gone through that, and she steps into an energy of Cancer, which is much more nurturing. But it also talks about foundations. It talks about home, your inner life, your inner emotions. And Uranus is definitely being, it's bringing a need for freedom to you. And it will continue to do so as it moves through your sign. And freedom does not have to mean you no longer want to work or you no longer want to be in relationships. It's not that kind, although it can be. It's more of a need to be free of old cycles, old inhibitions, old barriers that have held you back in ways that maybe you weren't aware of before. And August is a culminating period for all of this. Now, the first card out is the Queen of Wands. And I don't feel as though this is your energy, Taurus. I think this is somebody else in your life, in your energy. It can be another fire sign, and most likely it is somebody who has an intense passion towards you, an immense attraction for you, somebody who is definitely wanting to create a future with you, somebody that sees something in you. It's an energy of, it could be lust, it could be potential love. It is just a wanting to be with you and somebody who sees you as something really special. Now, your first 2 cards out is the Devil and the Ace of Cups in reverse. Taurus, there's something that you are wrestling with and have been for a little while. And this could vary in a lot of ways. It could be an addiction. It could be negative thought patterns. It could be old hurts from the past that you allow to hold you back, maybe from searching out new love, allowing new opportunity in your life. Ace of Cups is when you've built a block. There's a wall. And the Devil energy can make this idea of love seem somewhat unattainable, almost like irresponsible to want that in your life. The Devil energy is that of Saturn, so maybe you have been very focused on your resource sources, your finances, your job, your career, things that you felt you needed to do out of authority, out of responsibility. And it seems as though the rest of life has taken a back seat while your focus has been on things that you may not realize are serving your highest good. Now, the devil energy, it is not bad to be focused on your career or your money. That's certainly not a negative thing. But if you are focusing on it in order to not invest emotionally in situations, if you are keeping things at arm's length, and maybe it's not, you know, that workaholic tendency, maybe it is an actual addiction. Maybe you're wrestling with something that keeps you from investing or wanting to be in a real heart-centered relationship and connection with people. Underneath the Devil card is your first moon card, a new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. See, this card comes out directly under that Devil energy. So there may have been a pattern established in a relationship where the Queen of Wands energy, this feminine energy that seems to be attracted to you and to want things from you, because remember, the feminine energy is in receiving mode. So even if this person isn't specifically asking for things, asking for your time, asking for your attention, nonetheless, there is a pull. And yet there is that devil energy that is telling you now is not the time. This is not, you know, it's irresponsible for me to express love at this time when I have other things that I have to do. I have goals that I have to reach. Or maybe you can't invest because you're hiding certain things that you're going through. So a time to give rather than take. The devil can be a vampire kind of energy. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You may not be aware, my nose is itching. You may not be aware of what you're doing at this time, because I feel as though the attraction to this Queen of Wands character is mutual. I feel as though you enjoy their time, you enjoy their energy. Maybe the sex is amazing. Maybe you guys click and you really enjoy your time together. However, you are not willing to give, and there is something within you, I feel, that is pulling at you and tugging at you that this must change. That now is a time for this to transform, and you're questioning whether you could do that. Ace of Cups. Above the butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. See, here's the thing. This devil energy is no match for Leo season. It's no match. You are being called to listen to your heart. You are being called to make love a priority, to make connection a priority. If it's something that you have thought you could go without in this lifetime, something where you thought, well, as long as I have money in the bank, as long as I have a nice home and a nice car and all the things that I need and a solid foundation financially, that other stuff is not necessary. And then the Queen of Wands comes and reminds you that it is. It reminds you of what an integral part of your life is that of love. How it is the most important lesson that you will learn in this lifetime is how to love and how to share with others. The past couple of readings, I've felt an energy as though you have reached great heights. in your career, with your goals, kind of completing phases that you had. You know, it's kind of like having this list of things you wanted to accomplish before a certain age, and all the boxes are checked, and that there's still time, and the universe is trying to get you to look at something that should be a priority to you. But instinctively, you made other things a priority. And it's not to look at this as a burden, because like I said, that Uranus energy is looking for breakthroughs. It's looking for freedom. And you may not have realized that being so determined in the other areas of your life, now is when you start to realize what you've been missing, what you've been blocking out. And maybe you are being shown how good it feels, how important it is. And now it's a test on whether you're willing to allow it, whether you're willing to transform your life in the ways you need to in order to welcome this love in. You're making space for love in your life. It's not an easy process. The Devil card means it won't feel natural. You will feel as though you're fighting all of your instincts. You know, walls are being broken down, and I can almost see Taurus like with bricks and mortar trying to put them back up as quickly as possible. Like, don't expose this, because as long as I don't see what I'm missing, I won't need it. But it's Leo season. And that wall comes down, and you're seeing everything clearly. You're seeing everyone clearly. Six of Wands and the Fool. See, this Queen of Wands character in your life, she sees you as the Six of Wands. She has a lot of respect for you, in fact. And I'm saying she because it's a queen, it's a feminine energy. I'm not being specific with genders at all. However this resonates to you, feel free to apply it to your story. But it's important that you understand that this energy sees you as someone really special, as the one. And you have to transform this part of yourself so that you could begin to see yourself that way as well. See, when you begin to let love in, ultimately it changes you. It changes you in your DNA, right? If we stay safe our whole lives and we don't let love in, then nothing can change us. And Taurus, the most fixed earth sign in the zodiac, would much prefer all things to stay safe and sound and avoid change at all cost. But then you remember you're ruled by Venus. And so when a Taurus is touched by love, when a Taurus's heart is open, it's like they're seeing and meeting themselves, this part of themselves for the first time that they didn't know existed. And you are Venus signs. There's a lot of passion here. There is friendship, passion, love, desire all of the things that most of us wish for all of our lives. And the universe is offering you a chance to get on board. The Fool energy, take that leap. Make the changes you need to make space in your life for this to happen. Underneath that Six of Wands and the Fool card is number 9, Angel of Determination. It could go either way, Taurus, because two things can happen. You could be so thrown by the power in this connection that you could throw yourself more into your work. You could get up in that headspace and say, ultimately, this is going to lead to heartbreak, and it's just better if I keep my eye on the prize and keep doing the things that I already know will bring me success. Do the things that I can control, right? Taurus likes to be in control of the situation. But in order to achieve this kind of love, this kind of growth in you, it requires you to enter that Fool energy, which is very opposite of Taurus energy. It's taking a risk. It's not carrying all that emotional baggage of all the things that could go wrong. What if I spend 2 years with this person and then we break up and I've wasted 2 years? Well, the Fool doesn't care about time. He's just simply here to live life, to experience it at its fullest, with very little regard to consequences or the outcome, and not in a foolish way. This is not childish, but it is a reminder that you don't have to be so serious. Not everything has to be so serious. I'm also picking up on an element of you putting this pressure upon yourself. I don't feel as though this Queen of Wands is pressuring you. I feel as though you are pressuring yourself. You're putting on you're making this a little heavy. Honestly, the Fool can just be in the moment and enjoy the things that it has and not worry. And yet that determination, that devil energy, the need to control, the need to know where it's going, the need to know how it's going to end, what the return on your investment will be. And love just doesn't operate that way. There are no guarantees in life. You could meet the love of your life and have the most beautiful experiences. It doesn't matter how long you have it. The fact is you had it. And it makes you become an even better version of yourself because you experienced it, because you allowed it. Your challenge card for the month is the 7 of Cups. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Also picking up on the 6 of Wands. If by chance this story does not apply to you, however, maybe this reading also talks about somebody who did not feel worthy of love. Maybe because they were overcritical of themselves and felt undeserving. Maybe even in physical aspects. Maybe you were rejecting this love from coming in because you didn't feel good about your body, because you didn't feel good about your circumstances. And that is what gets transformed. That is what changes. And it may be a literal change. There may be a literal change in your appearance. Maybe you have lost weight. Maybe you have increased your finances substantially. Maybe there has been something that's occurred in your life that's making you feel really good about yourself. And if in fact that is true, then it seems that you are getting a lot of attention. 6 of Wands is kind of being seen, people admiring you. And the Fool card is where you are somewhat unaware of it. Again, that energy of head down, focusing on your work, and maybe you are not aware of the attention that you're getting from Queen of Wands energy. And 7 of Cups energy could mean there's a lot of options. But it could also mean there's a lot of options in this connection. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of unknown at this time. Like I said, you're in an area of there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees it's going to work out. There's no guarantees it's going to last forever. Yet you still want it. Yet it's still there. 7 of Cups could mean that the temptation is there to not make a decision, to not go after what you want. And that would be a detrimental mistake. One way or another, love is the focus in August. And even if things are pulling your attention from it, it is important that you make it a priority. It is important that you choose something now that you want to work on. Underneath that 7 of Cups is the Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation, card number 6. If you are feeling compelled to really enter a connection with somebody on a soul level, commitment type of energy, then you can't come in an energy of let's just see where this goes. Now, I know I said there's no guarantees, yet there's a call for determination. So I think you're choosing this month. Do you want to be in this relationship? Do you want to take it to the next level? Do you want to explore where this can actually go? Because keeping it casual, keeping the boundaries a little blurred, maybe avoiding putting labels on it, making commitments, making promises, being in that avoidance kind of energy is taking away from an opportunity from Spirit to build a new foundation, a new start, a rebirth, and to do it on solid ground. See, when we don't have clear boundaries, when we don't know what we want from something, when you're unclear with the universe as to what you want, things can get hazy, things can get messy, expectations and resentments can creep in, and they could really hurt something that has a lot of potential. And so there is this internal pull to lay a foundation. There is a sense of, where do I want my life to go? What do I want now? Your advice from Spirit is the King of Pentacles. Underneath him is conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Big changes. If you are willing to move into this energy and make space for this love, and it would seem as though the King of Pentacles is not afraid of commitment. The King of Pentacles is not afraid to step in and provide and protect. He's not afraid to be the head of a family, the head of a household. And this is you deciding that you want to make this happen. If it is you deciding that you don't want this to happen, that's okay too. But the more resistant you are to what the universe is trying to give you, the harder the lesson's going to be. The harder the road will be. In fact, I think it'll still happen, because that beaver spirit can oftentimes mean that you are doing exactly what you're meant to do, that this is in your life because it serves a purpose, and this is your purpose. Maybe this relationship is a big part of what your life is meant to be about. And you could push and push and push, delay, stay in confusion. And the only thing that you're doing is stripping what can be a very solid foundation and letting things come in that can weaken it. It does not mean that the relationship won't happen, and it doesn't mean that it won't be successful. But much like when you're building a house, the more careful you are when you lay the foundation, the longer that house will last. The less fixing and repairing you'll have to do. It speaks to me of doing the hard work now, making the changes you need to make now, because later it may be even harder. But eclipse energy, it will still happen. Your oracle card: when I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. That is the universe guiding you away from that devil energy. That voice in your head that says you're not good enough. It's not time. You are not ready. If you believe in yourself and you believe in the universe, and even though it may not make sense on paper, it may not be what you wanted it to be, it may not look the way you wanted it to look, and yet it feels magical and it feels meant to be. The oracle cards that I picked for you this month speak a lot of the same story. Card number 7, to the sea. Well, this talks to me about being a very emotional time, Taurus. Like I said, it's Leo season. Your heart is illuminated, and there are a lot of emotions at the surface. There is no doubt a lot of love here, whether you're willing to admit it or not. To the sea talks about releasing control, the need to micromanage the situation, the need to say, I want love in my life, but I want love with somebody who has a degree, they make a certain amount of money, they live in a certain city, they have certain goals. You know, it's great. It's great to have standards. It's great to have plans. It's great that determination is what leads to your success. But that is not the same recipe that you use in love. Love comes differently. Love teaches us different things. Love is not always about being prepared or ready or making sense on paper. It's about your heart. It's about your emotions. It's about how you feel when you're with this person. To the sea means that now is a time for you to step back and let the universe show you what to do next. It may not be the time to make the big plans. It's just simply the time to make the space. Next card out, Observer. And I don't know, I'm picking up on this coming from this Queen of Wands energy, the Observer. Somebody is waiting to see what you're going to do. Somebody is waiting to find out how you feel. This is why I say I don't feel pressure from this person. In fact, I think this person is giving you a lot of space to come to your own conclusions. They're simply putting distance, a little bit of detachment between you two so that you can figure things out. If you are feeling pressured because you feel like this person is backing away, this isn't an energy of somebody who's giving you an ultimatum, okay? This is just somebody who's pulling back their energy a little bit just to see where things are going, to see what you want, to see how you're going to handle things. And by no means, this is not a feeling of manipulation. It's just simply allowing you to be you. You to make your next decisions. You to see how you feel. And the final card, card number 27, breaks down to a 9. 9 also being the center card, the Angel of Determination. Exchanging gifts is when we balance this relationship out. Like I said, whether you realize it or not, there's a little bit of a vampirism in your energy. You are willing to enjoy this relationship. You're willing to be in the moment with it and really love it. And yet there's a lack of commitment. There's a fear of commitment. There's a fear of bringing this into your life, you know, completely. And exchanging gifts is where you balance that out. That's when you realize you have to give in order for this to work. I think, in a way, you're both observing each other. It's almost as if, well, if I give this much, they'll give this much. And if I give this much and they don't give it back in return, then I'll know it's not working out and I'll pull my energy away. It's a little bit of a tug-of-war game. But I don't think, again, it's not out of manipulation. It's more out of self-preservation, dignity, you know? And exchanging of gifts is a promise that things are going to even out. That as much as you're willing to give, the other person will give the same amount. They will work just as hard as you will. They will make just as many sacrifices for you as you will for them. And that together, there is a solid determination to improve each other's lives, to make this a positive experience. This is a feeling of two people coming together to add value, not to take away. This is not somebody that wants to take from you or take you for granted. And therefore, you cannot take them for granted. And you know that. So I do believe that August is a pivotal point for you, and it's a growing phase. It's a growing of what you want next. And I see you stepping out of all of the pre-planned, predetermined, everything must go this certain way energy. You're throwing your heart on your sleeve and you're going after what you want and you're making it right and you're doing it right. You're building solid foundations. I really like it, Taurus. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. I send you so much love for August, and I look forward to seeing what goes on in September for you. Have a great month. Bye.